Manitoba.
Okay, turn around and walk away now. The other way.
I know, I'm looking for a rug. Wait, I need one on Manitoba side.
Hurry up, I'm freezing.
See you guys?
Let him run from here.
Come on, car. Let's go.
First candy in Manitoba.
And what is it?
Hot tamales.
Of course.
Dad, you have to get weed. Look at all the trees are dying down.
Something you've achieved on this trip so far that like one moment in one place was the most special?
No, not really actually. I'm just glad I'm out in Ontario.
Why?
Because, well, I have in Ontario. I really wanted to go see places. So I'm glad I'm out in Ontario. Ontario is a beautiful place. But I haven't seen
You're on your way to find out. Tell us a little bit about that. Age, or what's the process?
Actually, here's the page life saver.
Well, maybe Kristopher can tell us.
This is a picture. We've had a few false alarms, but if it rings, I have to be about 6 hours away from the hospital, and we're getting an ambulance helicopter to fly me to London Sick Kids Hospital, and in Ontario they pay for a flight, and now in Manitoba we have to pay for it. They said it was alright, it was fine, but we still do have to pay for it, and we have to call ahead to dispatch on all the products. If I can't
What was that like?
It was very, very scary because sometimes you weren't ready, sometimes you were ready, but sometimes like the other people they would keep you in for anything, so we'd have to go right to the hospital. But now the new people they tell you the number, so you can call back to you and I. And so it's very hard. There's one time I actually transferred again.
Yes.
You must be so proud.
Oh, very proud. Today's 100th day, girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we talk to you?
Sure. And he said that it was
guess.
the first one.
Can I get you to come over here? Or actually, come here. I'll come on this side. Tell us, can I get your name?
Sandra Knowles.
Can you tell us, you must be very proud of him.
Oh, very proud of him. Very proud of what he is achieving, and hopefully he can make a difference. And he's ready and willing to do this.
It must be difficult for you as a mom to have to see him go through so many operations. And
Yes.
tell
was
us
very
about
hard.
that.
Yeah. For the first 3 years, it was constantly in the hospitals, in and out. It's not as much now, but he bleeds. He has nosebleeds, and he's doing well. But it's tough. But as a family, we can do it. I have support from my family and Kelly's family, so that helps. We wouldn't do it without. Wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Well, first of all, I want to start off by saying that it is imperative right now. I mean, we're even asking the Prime Minister to say that this issue needs attention. And we have the potential to save all 4,000 Canadians that are presently on the waiting list, including Kristopher. And we need to address all these shortcomings. And these shortcomings include a number of things. First of all, we need to readjust our system, our present system. We're operating under a system called family consent. We have been for the last 30 years. That's been failing us for 30 years now. And the problem with that is that even though me, you, or anybody else want to donate organs, the family has to make the final decision at the worst time possible. And that's been failing us time and time again. So we need to look at a different system. We don't have to invent the wheel. Spain has been using a system which we're calling precious consent, and they have the highest rate in the whole world. So there's no reason why we can't do the same. Plus, we're presently operating under the assumption that after 90 days, many countries have this speech rather than not. So we need to hear that. We also need to look at
I guess you've been through a lot worse, right? That was winter. Oh, wonderful. So all the kids are supposed to be out there. Yeah. Oh, really?
So I was supposed to walk on my own, but a few kids jumped off the bus before we walked.
Probably something that a lot of you don't have.
That's what I did at the starting. I wanted to do schools because it'd be easier to talk to the kids than insurance. Because if the kids involved in mine, there's no each other. Chat against each other.
Well, that's good fun. Watch that.
And Caroline Dakota.
Wow.
And yeah, I was
exactly.
one thing I was crazy.
Contrary
Anyone in particular who really stands out who you met, please?
And George Smitherman, the health minister. He's the one that we're talking to right now to change the law and everything. He's been a great help so far. He's invited me to a few big lunch meetings with all the ministers. And so he's the meetings with all the ministers. And so he's the guys that help me.
That's good to have. Great. Well, thank you very much, Christopher.
Christopher's starting his walk in Winnipeg. Media is all there at the corner waiting for him to start. They got a police in front of us. We got a police behind us. We got a police over to the side. What do you say, Chris? What do you say to our camera? I love you. That's it? What do you say to your families? I'm in Winnipeg.
Winnipeg's awesome. Big bit in Ontario.
What's that?
I said a big bit in Ontario.
Tell Merle I said hi. Oh, it's not Merle? I thought it was Merle. Which one, in the gray coat, blue?
The one that has the camera grab.
The camera's on the floor?
Yeah.
I thought it was Merle.
They wouldn't let me put his on.
Merle wouldn't?
That isn't my thing. I have to go in first.
Chris!
Well, the cop told him to get on that. Yeah, I already told him. Let's get his feet. Oh, we're gonna wash it? That's stupid. I don't gotta, we got read. Sit out here. Oh my god, they're going crazy on it. Look at Dorothy feeding it. Let's have a tripod. Oh, this is too cool. Wait, then go look at that. Stop, you can squish out. Boy, they're going crazy here. Pardon? Are they all different too, eh? So what do we have? CTV, Channel 8. That guy in front of him. Jump up there.
Walk your normal pace, Chris. Walk your normal pace. Pick it up.
You're taping them, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Every walk, we tape them.
Every step.
Every step.
Pick it up, Chris. Pick it up.
And the faster he gets there, the faster we get there. Don't squish him. You're gonna squish him. Oh, when she taped it, I mentioned the families. That's what actually wasn't for my family, Molly's family. I said the support of the families. Blah blah blah. Because it is important. They are important, I should say. Some markers. Right. If you had some rollerblades, you could just hang on to the bumper. There's George on the side snapping pictures. Don't fall, George.
Remember, no negative things said about
Anything.
transplant or the hospital.
Oh, nothing. Haven't said a word. I ain't saying shit.
Okay.
I'm hiding.
I'm not saying
What's the
anything
name of the...
Sandy said, just thanks for the support of our families.
Yep. What's the name of the...
Rick Springfield.
is that his name?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
don't
sure?
know. No, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, because I have to be sure.
The same name you have, Rick Springfield, or Rick Springland,
Well,
or...
I wasn't sure whether I got copied it down right.
Okay, it's on the back desk. We have to get it. Make sure we got his
We get
name.
it?
Yeah,
Okay, do you want me to stop this?
yeah. Thank you. It might be.
Hold this one, run back again. Oh, he's really falling the whole way with it. Hmm? He's got the mic on. What did he say?
Yeah.
You want to go look for that?
Yep.
Just stop this?
Yep.
Battery's going. Oh, run out of tape.
Just put a brand new one and just leave it. Yeah.
Just stop this?
Yep.
Battery's going. Oh, run out of tape.
Just put a brand new one and just leave it.
Hey, can I get back here?
Yeah, yeah, come on in. Oh, hang on. We've been living in this thing for 100 days, so. pick it up, Chris.
You can't go faster.
Yes, you can.
Talk to him.
Are you Chris's mom?
Yes.
What do you think about what your son's doing? Oh, wait. Can you roll up the window? So
Sure.
I'll get out siren. Turn the radio down for me. Thanks. What do you think about what your son's doing?
Oh, he's amazing. Incredible kid.
Actually, you know what?
I can't even think. What do you think of him, Cal?
Check on you. So first I'll get your name.
It's Sandra Knowles.
Jeez, I'm clogging up really badly. Sandra, tell me how does this make you feel? What your son's doing?
It makes me feel very proud of what Christopher's doing.
He was holding it. Does he have it?
No, I don't have it either.
Okay, he has it then, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make my way to City Hall right now.
Okay.
His lifesaver.
His pager.
It's in the camera case. Where is it?
No, he took it off.
So again, how does this make you feel?
Makes me feel very proud of Chris to take on a journey like this to help 4,000 Canadians in Canada.
Did you encourage him to do this, or is this something you want to do on his own?
Something that Christopher's been wanting to do on his own when he was younger.
When he reaches his goal, how is that going to make you feel?
Oh, very, very proud.
Yeah?
Very proud of him.
How long has he been doing this for?
Today's 100 days.
And
He's been walking for 100 days.
how are you holding up?
Good, good.
Is this fun for you?
They're busy. It's a lot of work. It's nice to see how they are surviving and everything's okay, and I'm proud of them. They're doing a great job.
So you just come to visit us for
Yeah.
a week. He's going home tomorrow.
I'm fogging up too.
Oh, yeah, are you?
That's-
Yeah.
She gets to come tomorrow. Lucky her.
Do you want to sit here?
Sure.
You know, it might be easier for you though. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, watch your head. Watch your pumpkin.
Are you Chris's dad?
Yep. This is Kelly.
Kelly, how does this make you feel what your son's doing?
It feel really good to see the support that people are coming out to support him, and it makes me feel really good.
See, this is the second video I'll tell you like this. Hey, Kelly, tell me what you think of this whole thing.
And I think it's pretty amazing so far. Christopher's really sick of the boy. He's been wanting to do this since he was about 8.5 years old, since he heard George Mitchell was going to send him. He met George. He started asking him if he could do this. And a couple years later, George came back from Suriname. He felt carried George again from Suriname. And kept asking George, and finally George came in and said, yeah, okay. Started January 8th. This is the day 100 today, and so far so good.
On a more personal level, to have your son do something like this, I mean, does it surprise you at all?
For Kristopher, no, it doesn't surprise me. Well, actually, it really surprised me for any one of my children and their children too. For the last 13 years, with Chris as well, hopefully my two boys. What Christopher's doing is he's got the support of his brother and sister. And if he gets sick or if his picture goes off, his brother Robert is going to finish the work.
Where does he get the drive from? How's he holding up on this trip?
Actually, he's holding up better than the rest of us. He's got more spirit, more energy than all the road crew put together. So he keeps us going. For sure.
Okay, thanks very much. Chris, do you guys have a napkin or anything?
Yeah.
Sure. Cleaning. Don't smart.
Yeah, we haven't had too many problems since we started. Broke down a couple times.
Get your hand on the wheel there. Other hand. You had it up before. There you go. You guys are going to City Hall?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to get out at these lights maybe and jog a bit. Sure. But first I'll get you to sit back in your spot and I'm gonna get a shot of you here. I'm gonna bail out.
Yep. Just push.
Push down.
Yep.
No, push
Just
the
handle down and push,
Yeah,
yep.
there you go.
Slam it. There you go. It's almost rude. That's almost rude.
What is?
Media.
Rude?
Infiltrate your life.
Yeah. It's good having this recorded of the media, though. You know.
That's what gets everybody else's attention.
Yeah. I took tons of pictures. Where did I put them? Shoving them somewhere. That's better. Oh, well, the media's on here. Christopher's walking with the newspaper. We got our Timmies. We're happy. Downtown Winnipeg.
Good escort. It's a great escort. Where?
This point.
Let's walk behind.
Yeah, it's in the sink. You're in Winnipeg, Chris.
I think he's accepting the torch.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's a little nippy, eh?
I say the least they could have done was invited the poor boy in.
Cold, unheard of. That's why I said to him, don't you want your gloves? No. I said, just put one in your pocket. That torch is heavy.
It is, eh?
He's growing. From the time he started to now, he's growing. Like even maturity too. Like I look at the pictures like, oh, my little
And it's
baby.
all caught on tape.
I know.
I just asked him, do you know if you're going inside or what you're... He says, I'm just the walker.
Yeah. Well, that's it. He's only 14, right? So he's still a kid.
Heavy. Well, if you carry it 10 kilometers, it's very heavy. I don't want
You can have muscles.
to be able to go through the beach by prison. Yeah.
Oh, here he is.
That's the man.
You just arrived here?
Yeah.
You give me 30 seconds, I'll be right back.
Ask him to blow out the torch when you pass it to him.
Yeah, he needs 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
10.
Usually, you know, politicians, they got a lot of hot rights.
Christopher told him to take his time.
Yeah.
Welcome to Winnipeg. How are you? How's you feeling? It's a long walk. You got longer. How long did you walk today?
About 2 kilometers. 2. We walked from the hospital.
It's going to warm up.
It's one of the nicest days we've had. So,
Where are you from?
sorry.
Sarnia.
Torch back.
You don't mean that.
That's okay.
There you go.
Good duck, George.
Get used to it.
Good duck.
So we'll follow you inside?
Hey, Chris, can you wake that off?
Yeah, did you lock you got a picture of Christopher?
bag?
Camera bag, George had it.
I got it. Yeah, it's in the car.
Do you need it?
want me to
Do we
hold
need
this?
it?
I got it.
Should I get a picture with the police officer?
Yes,
Chris, hang on a second. 2 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Picture time. Here, you guys get up there and we'll go over here. We need a picture of you.
Oh, we're doing one picture.
Beauty. Look at bunch of guys. Don't smile, Chris.
Okay.
He doesn't smile that cute. You got 1,000 pictures of my one smile.
Your jaw gets sore from smiling, doesn't it, Chris?
Good. Thank you so much.
What's the longest you've gone today?
The longest is the 10 kilometers. Probably we walked a bit more, but I think it was about 10 kilometers.
Beautiful building, eh? that what Kelly?
Actually, you want to come and sit in the mayor's office until we get started?
Yeah, it'll be 5 minutes.
It'll be 5 minutes. We'll be back in 5.
Call the media.
So you started in Sarnia.
Well, they get an idea really how you are, who you are. 20 of them.
20 operations.
Just to keep walking.
I've got about 7 here.
7 on the one scar.
So you need a new liver.
Yes.
And what sort of operation do they do without liver?
Because his liver's so not functioning properly, they have to, he develops blood vessels in his esophagus. They're called varices. It's because his blood has nowhere to go, so it just grows through his skin and they hang like fingers in his throat. And then once in a while he'll eat something and it'll break and he'll bleed. And then he has to go in and they have to fix him to keep him from bleeding. And that's all they can do until we get the transplant. Just keep patching. He's probably one of the most banded kids in North America.
The most what?
Banded kids in North America. He's had the most bands put in his esophagus.
I've had about like 40 something.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
You're so courageous.
We never know he was sick. He's really sick, but we never know. He doesn't show it either. If he complains, then we're already in trouble. We're on our way running. If he's complaining there's something really wrong. He doesn't cry over anything.
That's amazing. So you started in Sarnia, you're going to Vancouver,
Yep. Victoria.
Victoria, and then you're taking a plane back to St. John's,
To
Toronto.
For
Toronto.
3 weeks for the summer holiday. I'm
Okay.
gonna throw a pitch at the Blue Jays game, and there's gonna be a few concerts gonna be in there. And then we're gonna fly to St. John's, Newfoundland, walk right back to Toronto, be done December 25th.
December 25th, that's amazing.
Santa Claus will bring him home.
That's what we're hoping.
You've been waiting 12 years?
13, almost 14.
No, certainly that can't be the norm. Is
Well, it's because he's not a normal person. He's not. Good escort. It's a great escort. Fuck. I love it when cops are smart. Boy, I love it. Gonna get over.
Move over a bit, Chris. Get in the middle, buddy. Get in the middle. Stay in the middle. We're turning. Oh, look at that. They're awesome. Camera, I left it at the back, didn't I?
Oh, is it here?
Should have a tripod, huh? job. Blocking off the roads for Chris.
Shut it down. Stop it. Stop recording. And look at the new. You ever take 2 hours yet?
No, why would it flash like
It just does that. It's kind of stupid.
having a good conversation with that guy. Oh, they're there, you know? What? I just seen something I like. Get in the middle, buddy. Chris, get in the middle. We're gonna run you over. You got the camera, right? feel heat.
Yeah, we're safe later.
Amazing. Came, is it close this corner?
Almost 14.
Now, certainly that can't be the norm.
Well, it's because he's not a normal person. He's not, he should be in a hospital, but he's not. And because he's not, it works against him because there's kids and adults that are maybe not quite as sick as him, but are sick enough to be in the hospital. So they're there. If they're there, they're priority because there's not enough workers to go around. So because he's not in the hospital, he's not a priority. That's the problem.
How many people are actually waiting for
About 4,000 people.
4,000.
And there's only about 1,800 people
In
getting
Ontario.
organs. And the rest are just sitting there dying. So we have to change the law to make everybody on the list already to be an organ donor. So if something does happen to them, they donate their organs. But now you have to tell your family and sign a card. And so it's harder. So it'd be easy to change the law for that to make it easier. To make Canada one of the top instead of the least of organ and tissue donation.
That's important. Like, a lot of people don't know this. I didn't know this. There's so much we take for granted. And so, there's so many things.
That's what we're here for.
That's okay. Would you like a drink or some juice or something?
Sure.
You're thirsty after that walk?
We have orange juice, apple juice, we have pop, we have...
Do you have Coke?
Yeah. You can have one
No.
for the day. You do not have another one today.
We're still working. There you go.
This The mayor's in Montreal this weekend.
Oh, okay.
I'm the deputy mayor, so whenever he goes, I get the call. Want a glass?
That's good.
So it's quite the office.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful office.
Look at that desk.
Like
eh?
this right
Sounds
here
really
is
nice so
our
far
neighbor's
too. We
office.
haven't seen much of it yet, but it's beautiful.
That's a beautiful desk, eh?
Winnipeg.
I haven't been out of Ontario, so.
What is there
Nice.
to do?
Look at that, nice, Chris.
There's
Old, eh?
right across the street. in Manitoba.
Okay, when you say your speech, right after you say your speech, you're gonna lift up your shirt for everybody, okay?
It's,
Okay.
Actually, we were wondering if you could do it in here because we
Oh, you're not heard? Okay.
Trying to get this off
but
you.
it also it's up there as like a public.
Did he
this
swear?
He likes doing it.
What's that?
Did he swear?
Yeah, no, it just.
No,
Are you hot?
Okay, for you, okay.
Yeah.
That was a long run.
Yeah, you betcha.
Long run?
Right after that shot, then we'll go outside.
What's your balance? I didn't look, I just got okay. He'll do show you now if you want.
Do you mind?
No.
You do this apparently.
Yeah, I do.
He didn't mind.
You did it on
Tell us about
CTV.
these scars.
Okay, this one I got done 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago now. And this one was born. I had it done 7
days
times. 3 days old. And this one I'm not sure.
A
Cause shunt, yeah, shunt. And then all the little holes, the little biopsies. And this one, they took about a piece of my liver. I was awake at the time too, and it was very crazy. And then they said it was so brave, so they went in and did it again. And they got another big chunk for tests. And then I have had tubes coming out. Got a lot done.
Why is it so important for you to show people, kids and everybody right across Canada, to show them that?
Because I like to. I'm not really sure a reason. It's fun.
It probably wasn't all that much fun going through that many surgeries though.
I don't mind now. It doesn't really hurt.
He does it to show people how much surgery he's had, in case anybody doesn't believe him.
Yeah, true.
Operations.
People don't believe me that I've had 20 operations.
Especially him walking, the way he's walking. You don't believe he's sick.
Those battle scars.
Okay, so good. Okay, we're gonna start.
Thanks a lot.
the city here.
Thanks again. It's nice to meet you.
Yes.
And good luck with everything.
Thanks.
Thanks so much.
You're a kid, Curtis. You're okay.
I do.
Yes. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Hey, Chris, thank you very much. And good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're going to bring
Take your time.
the press conference in order. First of all, I want to thank the city of Winnipeg for arranging the press conference here today. I also want to thank the Comfort Inn at the airport for helping us out with accommodations. We're staying here in Winnipeg for 3 days. Also want to thank Pony Corral Restaurant. They're going to be feeding us while we're here. And I also want to say thank you, a big thank you to the Winnipeg Police Department, especially Constable Chris Patz and Sean Bennett. Thank you very much, officers, for great escort. And I also want to give a big hearty thanks to the media that came out today. The media is our amplifiers, I guess, to the country, to communities about this very important message. And it was very inspiring and encouraging for us to see all the media outlets attend today's activity. And today is day 100, 100 days of walking for Kristopher Knowles. We have traveled through 75 communities in Ontario. He began his tour in his hometown, Sarnia, on January 8th. Yesterday we completed our last stop in Ontario, Camorra. And today is our first stop in the great province of Manitoba. And we sort of got a little complacent along the way with our message. And our message to the country is the importance of organ and tissue donation and the potential to save all 4,000 Canadians that are presently on the waiting list. Our message was very clear from the beginning. Our message was we do have the potential to save every Canadian that's on the waiting list. And that includes all the men, women, and children, like Chris, that have been waiting, and more often than not, are passing away because these organs aren't available. Almost every other day, a person is passing away. That is unacceptable. We are urging not only Canadians to make this issue a priority, we are urging all three levels of government to make this issue a priority. We are saying to the government, isn't 4,000 people worth it? And we do have the means. We have some of the best medical technology in our country. Transplants are a cure, and yet, time after time, organs are going to waste. We need to change the laws in our country concerning organ and tissue donations. We need to address remote areas where organs cannot be retrieved because of the geography of where they are. We need to have more retrieval centers throughout the country. We need to practice not only brain-dead organ transplantation, but we need to practice heart-dead. There's so many organs that have gone to waste because we are not retrieving organs after the heart stops. We are breaking all the myths. There's no age barrier. We had case after case, one case of a 102-year-old great-great-grandmother that donated her organs. 2 lives were saved and are doing quite well. These are all the shortcomings that need to be addressed. And if we are urging the Prime Minister and all the candidates that are running for the country's top spot this June to make this issue a priority, to make this issue one of the top issues. And once again, we're saying, isn't 4,000 Canadians worth it? At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Deputy Mayor, Mr. Daniel Van Dal. Thank you. Van Dal. Thank you.
Kristopher, it gives me great honor on behalf of Mayor Glenn Murray and on behalf of Winnipeg City Council and the entire City of Winnipeg to welcome you to the City of Winnipeg. This is, I understand, your 100th day of your 353-day walk across Canada. Today we are joined to honor you in your dedication to help every man, woman, and child that is on the waiting list for organ transplants. In 1967, South Africa performed the first historic heart transplant, and since that day, countless people have received across the world have received organ transplants and, as a result, have led healthy lives. Much of the credit goes to the researchers, the doctors, the staff, and to the visionaries that thought this could be done. However, the most important person is the donor. Without the donor, the process would not exist. As has been stated, Canada has almost 4,000 people on the waiting list. And unfortunately, many of those people will not receive their transplants. In fact, every day someone is passing away in Canada and their organs are passing away with them. The problem is that we need to get more people to make donations. Much more must be done. More has been done and more will be done. Kristopher, it takes a very courageous and determined person to do what you are doing. Your dedication to walk across Canada to promote the tissue and organ donation is absolutely remarkable. I wish you much success in your endeavor as you continue to walk across our great country and bring this issue to the forefront with a great many Canadians. On behalf of Mayor Glenn Murray and on behalf of Winnipeg City Council, It is my pleasure to present you with a City of Winnipeg pin and an official City of Winnipeg stopwatch so that you can keep time on your long walk. Thank you, Kristopher.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Before I introduce Chris, I just want to mention a few things about Chris. I met Chris during my campaign across Canada during my stop in Sarnia, and I met this young boy who had a big smile on his face just outside of Sarnia. And he wanted to carry the torch of life that he carried today. And at the end of the day, I thought, you know, this was just another enthusiastic, energetic kid, normal kid. But he lifted up his shirt and showed me all the scars on his stomach and told me he was on the waiting list practically his whole life, waiting for a liver transplant. And I thought I just met the most amazing boy ever. And that's why we thought that it was a natural choice to have Chris carry the torch across Canada so that he can help make his wish a reality. And that wish is to help save nearly 4,000 Canadians. Please welcome Kristopher Knowles.
Hello. First, I'd like to thank my row team. On my left, row manager George Marcello. Behind the camera, documentary person, Merle Roberts. My dad / driver, Kelly Knowles. And my mom, Sandy Knowles. Hi, my name is Kristopher Knowles. I am 13 years old. I've been waiting for a liver my whole life. The disease that caused me needing a liver is called Biliary Atresia. It is a common disease among infants. Most infants die shortly after birth. So far, I've been fortunate enough to still be alive. I've been in and out of the hospital most of my life. I've had over 20 operations that saved my life. I'm doing this walk to bring awareness to the shortage of organ and tissue needed. That's why I thought to myself that there was a way to save people's lives. And if I save a lot of lives, it makes this all worthwhile. That's why I'm walking across Canada. To save the 4,000 men, women, and children that are in need of an organ. I'm trying to inspire everybody to be an organ donor. Tell your friends and family about your wishes. And if you do, they're my heroes as well as everybody else's. Please don't take your organs to heaven. Heaven knows we need them here. Alone, I can't do this, but together we can. Please make my wish come true. And I'd like to thank the City of Winnipeg for your support. Thank you.
Now what Chris is going to do, what he likes doing all the time, is showing his scars. So if you can get just a
This one was 2 years ago. It was 3 years ago, actually. It's called the sun procedure. This one was the Kasai procedure. This one was when I was 3 days old. I had 7 operations. I'm not sure what that was.
Bowels. The bowels.
Something about the bowels. And then all the little stools are biopsies and tubes that are in this one.
So the major cuts were made by physicians who were trying to do what they had to
keep me alive.
just to keep you going while you're waiting all these years.
Yep.
So that's quite a period of time.
That's pretty much my whole life.
How does it feel to have it?
It feels good, I guess. I've wrote a poem about it. It's my life history.
You seem pretty okay with it.
Yep. The doctors had a choice if I did when I get my liver. They said, "What would you rather be, cut over a scar or get a knee scar?" I said, "Make a knee scar."
So how hopeful are you if you're going to need, how hopeful are you to get this approximately?
Well, right now there's 2 people in the hospital right now. They're the same age as me and same blood type and everything. So they'll get the liver first because I'm on the hospital waiting. So that's why they're keep pushing me back more when the kids are waiting. So roughly about 3 months, probably depends. But it's so rare, so that's why I've been waiting so long. Just because I'm on the hospital.
You seem pretty upbeat.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions from the media?
We're heading to
Steinbeck.
Steinbeck.
What are you going to do for that?
Laundry.
Laundry.
We're actually going to try and get Chris to see some of the sites in Winnipeg. Stay for 3 days.
So you're actually walking across Canada.
Yeah.
So how tiring is that?
Well, actually, I'm not walking the whole distance. I'm not allowed. You won't let me?
Well, how we designed Kristophers Wish was he's visiting 200 cities, so in each city he's doing a certain amount of walking. But if you total all that up at the end of the year, you'll have quite a number of kilometers on. So, and the idea is to bring a very strong message in each community. And so far, like I mentioned, we visited 75 communities in Ontario alone. And, we're going to hope that this vision comes to reality. Steinbeck, and then we have Salford Tuesday, and then Wednesday for College, Carberry on Thursday, Brandon on Friday. We end up the Manitoba Sewer on Monday, having Russell be our time stop before we move on to the situation. Heading west, yeah, and when he reaches Victoria, BC, and by the way, as we're going from province to province, we're organizing with the liver coordinators to make sure that there'll be a window that transport in case his feet goes off and doing that. This is his lifesaver. He's been waiting for this transport in case his feet goes off and doing that. This is his lifesaver. He's been waiting for this to go off for the last 12 years, so we're hoping it's going to go off, and when it does go off, there'll be a plane ready to fly into London where they'll have his transplant. I hope so. And if that does happen, which we're praying, where will it be tomorrow? I'm sorry, I said, will it be tomorrow?
Yes.
We've been praying for tomorrow for so long. He's going to be in Winnipeg tomorrow for the next 3 days. We'll be in Scotland on Monday. And I just wanted to describe his route. He's going to be arriving in Victoria mid-July, and then we're going to fly into Toronto for a midway stop. And during that time, he's going to throw a pitch at a Blue Jay game, and then we'll fly into St. John's, Newfoundland, where he begins the eastern leg of the walk, and then makes his way back to Toronto, where he finishes the campaign on December 25th of this year. And if I pray that that beaver does go off, his brother Robert, his 16-year-old brother Robert, will continue to carry the torch. And I know that Chris is going to be recovering real quick in the hospital because he's going to be anxious to get back on the road to continue carrying that torch. Yeah, that's one of our strongest messages. We're urging the Prime Minister right now, and all the candidates that are running for the Prime Ministership, to make this issue a priority because they have to realize that if they address this issue properly, we have the potential to save all 4,000 people, and that's got to be an important issue to run on. And I can let them know that Canadians are in favor of saving 4,000 people. And we're just talking about the 4,000 people right now. The waiting list keeps growing rapidly year after year after year. So on the one hand, we have a cure. We don't need research. We have a cure. We have the potential to save any Canadian that one day might need an organ transplant. Why isn't this issue that important? So we're urging the Prime Minister and all candidates that want to make this issue accomplish it. Actually, we looked at the statistics for 2003. It's divided by CI. That's the official government agency that provides all the statistics for organ transplant. And it's actually been a decrease in organ donations. There has been some movement, but it's been too slow. It's been too slow. That's why we're urging the Prime Minister to make this issue a priority and address it as a crisis. And the way we're presenting the picture is just look at this as 4,000 people in a burning building. And the question is, are we doing everything possible to save these people? We have the potential to make the Twin Towers.
There's a compass there, so really going in the right direction.
That's cool. It clicks onto your
There.
pants too. Cool.
Chris, I have to go to an event that we're here across town. Best of luck. It's been a real pleasure meeting you. It's something I never forget.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, eh? Thanks. Boy, with a boy.
What time is it? Kelly? What?
Kelly. Kelly. He's leaving. Want to say goodbye to him?
We'll check it out.
He's got a point at 1:30.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot, eh? Great service there. Thanks.
Time in Winnipeg, and the trip goes well. Thank you so much.
So what is that in real time?
Yeah, what time is it?
12:50.
Home time or here time?
I am going.
How long is this? Is there any timeline on that?
We've been waiting 13 years.
You needed it the whole time, like since birth?
Since birth. Just keep patching them together to keep them alive because there's not enough people.
You know, not having the medical background, but how do you live without a liver?
They keep cutting them open and fixing them and patching it.
Yeah, there's no machines or anything to...
Mom, you should go take a picture of that building.
Patching them and fixing the bleeds that he
Mom?
has.
Sure.
That was the old city hall.
Oh, there we go. We better tape that too. Did you have a good walk?
I'm amazed he's not freezing my hands.
Well, like I said, do you want net? No, no, no. I said take one net and then you could put it on if you had to. Real City Hall.
fine. They're healthy. Ryan, my brother's glad to help when I get my liver. He's glad to come up and join. That's what he's going to come join first to walk, and then we can finish together. And my sister, she's just helping me on the way. Anything I need.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to get a picture of this stomach because radio, of course, pictures are very.
Yes.
But it's for a website.
Yeah,
So
cool.
I can just email the picture right back to our office.
520.
How sweet's that?
Such a neat idea because I brought an MP.
Oh, do you have this up?
Oh, that is too
Can I see
sweet.
for a second? I just need to check the number.
What's the number that can? I'm hearing all these phone numbers being. What's the cell number, please? Or something.
Christopher Cell, yeah. You don't have a phone on you?
I just gave you
Toll-free number. Do you have our toll-free number?
Yeah, I think I do. That's on.
No, it's not on.
Sorry, no, that's the wrong
You want to get in
one.
touch with George, who's the
Yeah,
original
that's
customer.
yeah.
It's area code
I've got that
416
off the website. I think.
509 509.
On the website.
George.
Sorry?
On Christopher's website would be the one we use.
Yeah.
Sorry. What's the last four numbers?
For mine?
Yeah, the
5719.
5719.
Oh, I wish I had a phone like that. You do?
Did you get the rest of the business cards?
I got as many as I could get. I got one from Job.
I passed one on.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Did you get another card? I would
Sure, I
love to
can
have
certainly
one.
give you one. Yeah, my cards unfortunately are outdated, so I have to scribble information.
Oh, that's okay. I'm collecting them too. Gotta have something too, right?
Just at Free Press temporarily.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I received the liver transplant.
Okay, I'll get the email address off of the traders.
Sure. I might give it to you tomorrow.
You might.
Look at Kelly over there. Great, great.
My name's on the other side.
Okay.
That part is still correct. The other one.
Okay. You want Red River Column?
Yeah, I'm actually just finishing school there, so my name's on the other side.
Okay.
That part is still correct. The other one.
Okay. You want Red River Column?
Yeah, I'm actually just finishing school there, so I'm on a like work experience placement for Free Press right now. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So
Right
then
on.
after this, yeah, I'm done school. So.
Really, eh? How many years was that?
2 years.
Are you from here?
Yeah.
Are you? Right on.
I think so.
Yeah, I've
He's
traveled
done
already
Yeah.
to Saskatchewan.
Do you come up often?
No, this is my first time. Yeah, as much as I can.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Well, I
it.
guess of
I
course
love
your,
it.
your other son and daughter still at
They
home.
don't care.
Really?
Yeah, they don't care. One's with my sister, and he's just so happy because they fish and they got boats and they got all kinds of things to keep them busy. And then my daughter, she's got the car, but she doesn't stay at home. She's with family too. But she's got the car. She's got a license, which is nice. You know, if she needs it, she babysits more.
Yeah, that's
so.
good.
No, they don't seem to mind. I'm going home tomorrow morning, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, going home tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock.
Whirlwind touring of the country.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to keep going with them, but you can't be at two places at once. And then eventually I'll send my daughter for a week and she can come. It's too much with all of us, eh? It's just too hard, especially with the rooms and just the space. You know, so I figured take them on their own.
Thank you.
And they can come and experience a week by themselves or
See
something.
ya. Thanks.
Well, it's a pleasure meeting you. It's the Rockstar Tour.
I've been married 20 years. This bachelor life, I ain't cut out for it.
With Lisa Saunders, meteorologist Suzanne DeBoer, sports with John Evanson, and Wired with Shardy Peters.
Well, now
next week is National Organ and Tissue Donor Awareness Week. The importance of donation is felt most by those waiting for an organ. But for one Canadian teen, waiting doesn't mean standing around. Channel's Bridget Weiss explains.
So far it's 100 days, 700 kilometers, 2 pairs of shoes, and a wish.
I'm doing this to save the 4,000 men, women, and children that are on the waiting list, and to tell everybody to sign the organ donor cards, and to change the law.
13-year-old Kristopher Knowles decided to deliver his message in person to as many Canadians as possible by carrying a torch across the country. Starting in Sarnia, Ontario back in January, Kristopher's trek takes him all the way to Victoria, BC, then he'll fly to St. John's, Newfoundland and walk the rest of the country back to Ontario. He's enjoyed the first 100 days and looks forward to the next 153 that will finish off his trip.
Yeah, I'm still going strong. I'm glad winter's over. It was very hard in the winter, but I'm glad summer's in there and spring, and so I can keep on walking.
Thank you, Kristopher.
While the challenge of walking this distance may seem phenomenal, it's not even close to the hardest thing Chris has gone through.
I've been waiting for a liver my whole life. I've had over about 20 operations to save my life, and it's very hard because I've been waiting 13 years and I want to get it now.
In addition to raising awareness, Kristopher's hoping to change legislation so that all Canadians would automatically be organ donors unless they say otherwise. So far, the response to this idea has been positive.
I've talked to hundreds of thousands of Canadians across the country, and they're all in favor of it.
Kristopher's third in line for a new liver. If an organ becomes available, he'll have to fly home immediately for the operation, in which case his brother will complete his mission. But no matter where his journey takes him, Kristopher says he's thrilled to be part of the trip.
Makes the walk more easier for me, and it's helping me more on the way.
Bridget Weiss, 8 Channel News Now.
And if you'd like to support Kristopher Knowles' Cross Canada campaign, call 1-866-992-3645. You can also track his progress by logging on to Kristopherswish.ca. Well, some...
The city, can you help with investigating? We should have gymnasiums that the gym at Queenston School is to change the world one step at a time. What Kristopher Knowles wants to do and why he was in Winnipeg today. Coverage of Ghana returns in 2 minutes on CK1. Police have charged a 34-year-old boy who's in desperate need of a liver transplant. He is walking across Canada. About 4,000 Canadians are waiting for organ transplants right now. The CKY's Eleanor Kupsami shows you tonight. Kristopher Knowles says it doesn't take much to make a big difference.
Kristopher Knowles left his home in Sarnia in November. He's been walking across Canada asking people for their help, carrying a torch of hope.
Please don't take organs to heaven. Heaven knows we need them here. And please tell your family to sign your organ donor card. So this one was born. I had it done 7 times.
Scars track across his stomach, a reminder of more than 20 surgeries that have kept him alive. Knowles has a rare liver disease and needs a transplant.
It's very hard because I've been waiting 13 years and I want to get it now.
But like 4,000 other Canadians, he's still waiting.
A lot of people are dying in the hospital waiting, and I've had a lot of friends die because of waiting.
Right now, even though I've signed my organ donor card, none of my organs can be donated unless my family consents. Kristopher Knowles and other recipients say they've been at the mercy of this kind of a system for too long, and it needs to be changed.
We don't have to invent the wheel. Spain has been using a system which we're calling precious consent, and they have the highest rate in the whole world.
Precious consent assumes everyone is a willing organ donor, unless they had specifically said no.
It'd mean that Canada would be going up to the top instead of being the last out of the whole world for organ and tissue donation. And that's why I'm doing this, to make Canada the top.
So far, Kristopher has walked into 75 communities, but he would have preferred to run for the cause. But without a liver transplant, he can't run or do the hundreds of other things most 13-year-old boys get to do. Eleanor Kupsami, CKY News.
It's the Battle of Ontario.
Are joining with Winnipeg Jewish community to pay tribute. Man on a mission is getting a warm welcome in our province.
We need laws to change.
Kristopher Knowles got a tour of the Manitoba legislature today. The 13-year-old is waiting for a liver transplant. And he's been walking across the country since January to raise awareness about organ donation. He also wants new laws to automatically make Canadians organ donors unless they opt out.
That's your chance.
This is my chance.
That's what we're trying to do right now to get the message out, is to let the government know to change the law for precious consent. And I hope we made a difference today.
So far, Kristopher has walked 103 days and expects to walk about 250 more. For more information on his trek, log on to Kristopherswish.ca. And he spent the day in Steinmetz. His